This is your host, Sherry Moon Mystic, where we explore real mysteries, real encounters, and true crime. Let's dive in. Tonight, we're looking into the Great Smoky Mountains and the wild men encounters. The Great Smoky Mountains stretch across Tennessee and North Carolina, a vast folded wilderness where ridgelines disappear into the cloud and the sound carries in strange ways. Dense forests, deep hollows, and the sudden weather shifts have shaped human life here for thousands of years. And for just as long, people have whispered about figures living beyond the edge of settlement, not animals, not ghosts, but something uncomfortably human. Long before the park existed, early settlers recorded encounters with people who avoided towns, traveled slightly through the woods, and vanished when approached. In the 18th and 19th century, newspapers and journals occasionally mentioned wild men. In the mountains, solitary figures dressed in animal skins or rags, seen stealing crops, watching cabins from tree lines, or leaving crude shelters behind. These accounts weren't framed as folklore. They were treated as unsettling curiosities, sometimes as social problems, sometimes as tragedies. The mountains, after all, were known to hide deserters, outlaws, and those fleeing from poverty and violence. Appalachian history includes real examples of families and individuals choosing isolation. Feuds, land disputes, and distrust of authorities pushed some people deeper into the backcountry. Others were born into the seclusion, growing up with little contact beyond their immediate kin. In rare cases, children were rumored to have survived alone after losing family to illnesses or accidents. These stories formed a quiet backdrop, human explanations for why some might live unseen among the trees. But not all reports fit neatly into history. Modern hikers, hunters, and park employees continue to describe encounters that feel different. Not dramatic chases or clear sightings, but moments that don't resolve easily. Footsteps pacing campsites just beyond the firelight. Stones tossed from the dark with deliberate aim. Whistles answered by other whistles, too patterned to be random, and occasionally brief glimpses of tall, thin figures moving upright through the bushes behind trees, too smooth to be animals, but too silent to be careless humans either. Some encounters describe eye shine at human height, reflecting firelight before disappearing. Others mention an overwhelming sweat, decay, or something musky and sour, followed by feeling of being watched. Rangers rarely speak publicly about these reports, but off the record, many acknowledge receiving complaints that don't align with bears or elk or any known wildlife behavior. The unsettling part is the consistency. Witnesses who've never met describe similar behaviors, circling camps without approaching, mimicking human sounds imperfectly, retreating the moment lights are raised. These are not stories of attack. They're stories of proximity, of something choosing to stay close yet unseen. Skeptics point out the obvious explanations. Black bears can walk upright for short distances and are notorious for circling camps. Sound travels unpredictable in mountain hollows, bending directions and distance. Fear fills in gaps, especially at night, and the Smokies receive millions of visitors each year. Plenty of opportunities for misunderstandings, pranks, or encounters with transient people avoiding detection. But even the skeptics pause at certain details. Bare footprints appearing far from the trails, showing signs of a long-term exposure rather than a weekend trek. Camps disturbed without food taken, pass through the undergrowth that suggests repeated use, not random movement. In a protected park where long-term off-grid living is nearly impossible, the question becomes less about survival skills and more about intent. Who would choose this life and why remain hidden for decades? Some researchers suggest a small population of feral or semi-feral individuals, possibly spanning generations, who learn to avoid detection entirely. Others argue for something more psychological: projection, pattern recognition, and the human tendency to assign agency to the unknown. A few fringe voices push beyond that, proposing unknown hominids or relic populations. Those theories, however, lack physical evidence and quickly drift into speculation. What remains are the reports themselves, quiet, restrained, often reluctantly shared. Many witnesses hesitate to speak, worried about ridicule or disbelief. They don't claim answers. They describe moments that didn't fit, then move on with a lingering unease. The Great Smoky Mountains are not empty. They never have been. Even today, vast areas remain rarely visited, where trails fade and the forest closes in. In places like this, the boundary between civilization and wilderness is thin, and the ideal of someone living just beyond it becomes disturbingly plausible. Whether these wild men are remnants of human history, misunderstood encounters, or something else entirely, the stories persist because they resist closure. No dramatic reveal, no final proof, just the sense that the mountains keep their own secrets, and that not everything hidden there wants to be found. And when the night settles over the ridges and the fog rolls low through the trees, some hikers swear the forest doesn't feel empty at all. So, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, bye for now.